Well, good morning to us, Crypto Big Boss, coming to you with another incredible video. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a really great article by Jeff Benson that just came out on Decrypt. It's the March the 22nd, 2021. Says Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge applies for Bitcoin ETF. Skybridge has been building up its Bitcoin offerings as of late. Now Scaramucci is confident the U.S. will soon approve Bitcoin ETFs. This is one of the things I've been talking about for years, since 2019, with regards to adoption. That if we ever get these other methods of getting Bitcoin out to large institutional investors, that it will cause a wave of increases in prices across the entire crypto space. And the idea that Anthony Scaramucci and Skybridge are applying for an ETF in the light that Van Eck has been applying for ETFs forever and being turned down. And you've got Ms. Pierce out here saying, hey, the government might actually start really taking Bitcoin seriously. This article is really just pointing to a lot of things that if we finally allow the American companies to participate in the ETF business, it's going to cause an explosion in the crypto space. It's going to send Bitcoin to a place where people thought that it would never get to. But let's take a look at the article. You got Scaramucci there. Who would have thought he'd be lucky enough to be part of something like this? But Skybridge Capital, the hedge fund of former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci, has filed for Bitcoin ETF with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Yep, so is a whole lot of other people. If successful, the Skybridge Capital Bitcoin ETF could eat away at the appeal of the Skybridge Capital Bitcoin, which grew to a size of 370 million within weeks of its January open. Crying, whining. Skybridge's Bitcoin fund for accredited investors able to contribute at least 50,000 allows for shares to be redeemed on a quarterly basis. An ETF or exchange traded fund would be far more democratic. ETFs are an investment vehicle that can be traded like stocks. They track the price of an underlying asset or group of assets, and Bitcoin ETF would therefore roughly align with the price of Bitcoin. In exchange for a fee, investors would get exposure to Bitcoin prices without the risk of holding and storing Bitcoin and private keys themselves. The SEC has never yet approved a Bitcoin. I'm going to say that again. The SEC has never approved a Bitcoin ETF. But if you guys have been watching my channel, you already know that we've already had a Canadian company, a North American company, not the United States, file and successfully get an ETF launched in Canada. So check that video out. If America doesn't plow forward, and if the SEC doesn't get on board, I've said this time and again, the rest of the world will just keep on spinning. They'll keep on coming up with innovation, and they will move out with or without the United States. Okay? So, the SEC has never approved a Bitcoin ETF. However, the Canadian regulators approved the country's first Bitcoin ETF just this year. Some, including Scaramucci, see the U.S. following suit. I do believe this will happen. Well, will be an approval process that happens in 2021. Yeah, we'll see. Ironically, Skybridge COO Brett Messing told Decrypt after Skybridge's Bitcoin fund launched that a Bitcoin ETF will put them out of business. Okay, let's just go past this. Scaramucci now says it was a matter of seeing the playing field and adjusting the game plan accordingly. We're going to kill our private partnership business if we can get an approval from the SEC. I think that the success of the Canadian funds will make it a bit easier for the U.S. regulators. Investment firm Van Eck, we talked about this just a second ago, a near perennial ETF applicant, agrees. The market for crypto investment vehicles has expanded as the price of Bitcoin has increased by around 10x in the last year, buoyed by the institutional investments from the likes of public companies like Tesla and MicroStrategy, as well as institutional investors such as Galaxy Digital. For example, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, an investment vehicle that tracks the price of Bitcoin but locks traders into their position for months, controls 3% of the 21 million BTC that will ever be circulated, making it the biggest institutional holder of BTC in the world. Bitcoin ETFs are more retail-friendly investment because they can be traded as easily and frequently as GameStop or Tesla shares remain elusive for now. This is really a great article, and it points to a pivotal point in time as we look at Bitcoin having breached the $60,000 mark, and understanding that now the institutional investors, large companies out here are realizing that this is not a joke. This is not a dry run. This is not a drill. These things are here to stay. These blockchains are innovations, technologies that are going to be integrated into the superstructure of Web 3.0. It's not going away. I had a conversation with some folks about how just imagine a world where you don't use the US dollar to pay for things, where you literally actually exchange Bitcoin for goods and services, where you literally use Ethereum for goods and services. Imagine paying whoever cuts your yard in Ethereum. Imagine paying whoever does your hair or whoever fixes your car. Imagine paying them with Bitcoin or Ethereum or any one of the top 30 coins in the crypto space. That's the period that we're in, folks. And this ETF thing, if they ever allow one to get through, they're not going to be able to just let one get through. They're going to have to let a whole set. That's the way the United States does stuff. There's got to be some competition. So what you're looking at now is a transition period. And once that domino drops, once that shoe falls, this last 10x on Bitcoin is going to look like a joke. It's going to look like I wish I had just took some money and threw it on Bitcoin while I had a chance. The 10x coming from, I remember, Bitcoin was $5,000, coming up to 50 and now 60,000. Folks, this one day could be a $500,000 asset. Now, I already got a price prediction out there for this year of $80,000. But just imagine what would happen. Just imagine what would happen if one U.S. company were able to get one ETF through the SEC. You saw this thing is open to folks in a minimum of $50,000 investing. What would that mean? What would that mean to the market cap for Bitcoin? Amazing stuff. Things to think about. So if you've enjoyed this video and you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe. We do lots of research and price predictions on this channel. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please throw up the likes. Please throw up the shares. And I'll catch you on the next one.